so a long time ago. But since 2016, started investing and looking more into economics and so on. But from 2020, started research in DeFi and other privacy projects. And from the last year, we discovered some gaps in the space of crypto. And this is how OMNIA just was born.
And both of you, I'm just wondering, both of you have the same career path, pre-crypto industry?
Yeah, so me and Alex had almost like 90% the same path.
Okay.
We graduated the same university. I think the only difference is that I specialized in research. I have done my PhD in cryptography, and Alex concentrated more on management and other type of courses. But I'd like him to say a few words about the path that has been on his side.
Of course.
Yeah, so first of all, I'm very happy to be here. Indeed, there were some differences in our career path. At some point, Christian focused more on research, and I focused more on the business side, researching, marketing, and this area.
But also for you, it was focused on cryptography, right?
Yeah, we share the same technical background on cryptography and also in blockchain. Actually, I have a pending patent on a solution built on top of blockchain technology.
No sé si a lo mejor es interesante traducir en este punto. Translation moment here. Pero básicamente son gemelos y es curioso porque su experiencia profesional han dicho que a un 90% es similar o parecida, solo que Alexandru se ha enfocado más a la parte de management y Cristian se ha quedado más en la parte técnica y ambos están enfocados en criptografía, lo cual explica su proyecto. Y nada, okay, I think we're good.
Okay, I think I will learn some Spanish in this EMA.
That's great then, so that you get closer to the Spanish and Hispanic community. So maybe it's a good point now to talk about your niche for the project, since it's indeed related to your career path.
Yeah, sure. So our niche in the crypto space is around the decentralization and privacy, because this is what we saw in the space that it's missing, which is like we try to decentralize the access to blockchain, and also we try to achieve the off-chain privacy. This is like the niche that we are into, and if I would enter in more details, everybody's concentrated in decentralizing the space, but we forget that the accessing points are also part of the blockchain. So we need also to decentralize also that part of the blockchain. And in regard with privacy, we need to have an end-to-end approach when achieving privacy, not only privacy solutions such as Tornado Cash, Zcash, and so on, but we also need to take account of off-chain privacy, like the privacy, how to hide your IP address, your metadata behind your request, and so on. So this is the niche where we are playing our game here.
O sea, básicamente, Santi, que están hablando de que su foco es la descentralización y la privacidad. En privacidad hemos visto ya que en este proyecto, por ejemplo, en MetaMask les sacaron los colores porque compartían la dirección IP. Y luego en descentralización estaba comentando que es importante enfocarse también a la descentralización off-chain y no solamente a soluciones, distintas soluciones que se despistan en esto, ¿no? Ha mencionado Tor, ¿no?
Sí, Torchain, ¿no?
Torchain.
No, a lo mejor preguntarles sobre los nodos suyos es interesante.
Yeah. So we are here. We were wondering, and maybe you were about to focus on that, but how do your nodes solve this?
So I would like to hear Alex to take the floor, because it's more into the area, so I'll give the mic to Alex.
Perfect.
Yeah, thanks. So in a few words, to be very easy to understand, we leverage incentives for the communities to spin up nodes on their own. So basically, if you already are running an Ethereum node at your home, you can couple that node into OMNIA ecosystem and earn rewards for it. So basically, you earn rewards. We grow the community pool of the resources, and this resource pool also serves the applications, the blockchain, let's say, community that are that require an access to the blockchain. So it's a win-win-win for everyone. This is our approach with the decentralization. And with the privacy, here is a bit of, let's say, a network of privacy layers. Is very similar how the Onion router, the Tor browser works. Basically, you have multiple layers of encryption that obfuscate all the metadata and protect your personal data from the hackers or anyone trying to gather information about you.
Mm-hmm. So, and how is it? Vamos a preguntar en qué se diferencia, ¿no? And how is it different then, in simple words?
Yes. Yeah, in simple words, Tor technology is deprecated as 20% of the nodes compromised. You can already de-anonymize users that are using Tor. So the better technology to achieve privacy is mixnets. And there are a few players in the, let's say, ecosystem that are trying to build. Actually, one of them is funded by European Commission. So we are talking about compliant privacy, not privacy that is used in some way, I don't know, illicit activities or whatever. So we talk about compliant privacy by using mixnets. This is the simple answer. We leverage the mixnets technology.
How is it? Porque están diciendo que lo hacen a través de mixed nets. You also have a very nice graph showing that. Maybe if you can share the screen, maybe it's also helpful. I don't know if it's possible for you. Otherwise, we just talk. But with the mixed networks.
Yeah, I know the exact.
Yeah, que parte de la diferencia está en sus, es que no sé cómo se dice en español.
¿En inglés?
Eso, los mixed.
Eso yo tampoco sé cómo se dice.
Sí, que los
sí,
mezclan
bueno,
y así.
Básicamente lo que hace OMNIA, para que lo entendáis todos, porque esto yo también tengo en el estudio, no es un nodo como tal, sino que se basa en conectar lo que viene a ser otros nodos. Y a partir de ahí consigue todo el tema de lo que defiende OMNIA de la descentralización y seguridad. Más o menos.
Tienen una red segura que se puede utilizar en los distintos nodos y networks y todo. Y entonces, bueno, lo que sí que comentaban era eso, que gracias a este mixing, mezclando las redes, es más seguro y más descentralizado y esto es lo que les diferencia. Y luego han comentado antes, que me parecía interesante, el hecho de que tienen el ecosistema blockchain porque puedes utilizar tu red de Ethereum, da igual, bueno, creo que no tienen todas las redes, pero Ethereum...
No, Algorand, por ejemplo,
Bitcoin y BNB, creo.
Sí, creo que sí.
Y puedes conectarte y generar beneficio. Entonces esto también es un incentivo que no se había visto antes. Y luego, entonces, tienen la parte de blockchain para el ecosistema y la parte de privacy, que es lo más tecnología...
Vamos a preguntarles ahora sobre la pre-sale, el marketing que están haciendo para el TGI, para el lanzamiento y cómo llevan eso. ¿Vale?
Venga, perfecto.
Vale.
Okay, back again from Spanish lessons. Yeah, so...
Yeah, Alex, I think that you prepared something to share. You have it?
Yeah, I prepared, but unfortunately, it says that host disable participant screen sharing. So maybe if we can enable that, I can share.
Yes, we will.
That's it. Alexandro.
Yes, now you're the host.
Okay, that's perfect. So I am sharing the screen now. Can you confirm that it's visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so basically here in the left side we have the users, which are broadcasting transaction. Here can be an application, a wallet, or let's say a decentralized exchange. And instead of directly sending the transaction to a node, which is actually part of the blockchain network, it first goes to this mixnet, which is basically a network of other, let's say, software components that mix, shuffle, obfuscate all the information across different layers, such that the final destination cannot see the IP address, the behavior of the user, his personal data, I don't know, IP geolocation you can extract from IP address and so on. So basically this middle layer protects the privacy in face of this node, which is the access point into the blockchain.
I will just translate very quickly. Lo que nos está diciendo es que los utilizadores están a la izquierda del gráfico, es un gráfico que lo explica muy bien, y puede ser una wallet, un exchange o lo que sea, y en lugar de ir directamente al nodo de la blockchain,
la blockchain hace el mix, sí.
Pasa por el mixing, y entonces este mixing lo que permite es esconder, que no se vea tu IP, tu dirección IP y el comportamiento, porque pueden encontrar tu cartera, claro, a través...
De hecho, se hace mucho ahora con el tema de Hacienda, que mucha gente lo que está haciendo es pasárselo de Binance a un MetaMask, de ahí pasárselo a otro MetaMask y de ahí pasarlo ya a lo que viene a ser el Ledger, para que no sea vinculante y sea algo de ese estilo lo que hace OMNIA.
No sé si es interesante preguntarles, porque han dicho que es compliant, o sea, que no se utilizará para acciones que sean ilegales o poco éticas. No sé cómo lo harán eso.
Sí, cómo testear eso, ¿no?
Sí, le podemos preguntar si no después, a ver cómo... Ok.
Okay, so I can stop the show now.
Sorry about the noise. We were also thinking, because you mentioned that it is compliant. How do you do so? How do you make sure that these privacy perks are not used for the wrong reason, if that's what you meant?
Yeah, so actually the privacy compliant thing is very important, because we need to make sure that the transactions that are passing our gateways and our network are not illicit transactions. Like, for example, a couple of weeks ago, it was this big hack with on-hold. Lots of, let's say, funds are held by scammers or hackers. So we want to make sure that those funds are not transited in our solution. So how we fix that and how we achieve compliant privacy, basically we have a kind of a firewall, if I may say that, on each gateway of our network, and we check if the funds are safe or not, and if in case that they are part of a scam or hack or whatever, we drop the transaction at the gateway, and we do not permit that transaction to pass our network.
So
but if you only want...
This is done manually?
No, this is automatically. Actually, we will use third-party providers and our own list of, let's say, bad addresses that are already flagged as being scammed or hackers. So it will be those two arrangements with one static like list of addresses, and in the same time we're using the third party, which is like constantly looking for scammers and for activity that's illicit, and we get the result if it's okay or not.
Ok, o sea que tienen contratados a alguien para verificar esto. Ya. ¿Qué les queríamos preguntar ahora?
Sobre el tema, cómo están organizando el tema de la preventa, cuándo se piensa lanzar, el TGE, el marketing que quieren hacer, si necesitan ayuda, cómo tienen pensado meterse en el mercado hispano.
We were thinking, and if it's okay for you, maybe we can go through the steps for the pre-sale process. Next steps. How do you have the dates in mind, the format, and maybe the strategy?
So we are now, the strategy like we had, it's first we did a research last year to make sure that the pain is real out in the space, so we solve an actual issue. And after we realized that there is a pain in that space. We had our seed stage last year, and then immediately, I think on a few months, we had the private sales. So this is how we started last year, and we closed the third round, which is VC early, back in the days in December. And now we are with the final round, which is partners. It's the final round of private investors. And we had a strategy from the beginning. We are like oversubscribed like 25 million or maybe higher than that. I lost the count on the offers. And the reason that we didn't rush into taking the money is that we want to have smart money in our cap table, meaning that the capital is obviously not an issue, not only for us, but especially for crypto projects. And we are very oriented to be let's say, partners and clients. So we want to make sure that we have the integrations, the networks available, and this can be achieved by having the right partners along us. So this is the reason that we have a bit of space left. We are now closing all the deals, and we are preparing for launch with the listing of the token and the public sale, which will be held on DAO Maker Launchpad. But for the time being, I don't have a specific date for the launch. It's coming in the coming weeks.
Okay, I go with Spanish. I'm sorry. Que entonces
Number 4.
no tiene una fecha específica para el lanzamiento, que será en DAO Maker.
Sí.
Y nada, luego de cara a... Es que estoy pensando en la próxima pregunta que les iba a hacer. Pero de cara al lanzamiento tienen la estrategia para los tokens que va a salir. Vale. Espera, me estoy desconcentrando.
Sí, igual. Vale.
Okay. I was going to ask a question about this. So actually, this is for the pre-sale. We forgot to mention that you have an MVP that's ready to test, right?
Yeah, everybody can test the application. It's free now on a freemium model, meaning that there is a cap of 25 requests per second, but anyone can join the MVP to generate their own endpoints, and actually they can use it on your own Web3 wallet to have this private and decentralized connection to the blockchain. So everybody can go to app.omniatech.io and can generate endpoints freely on that dashboard.
Es interesante porque ya se puede probar una aplicación que tienen de testeo para ello. Y además lo que estaban mencionando antes es que de cara a la inversión ya han recibido mucha inversión, pero son bastante selectivos para conseguir partners que les vayan a poder ayudar a tener esta tecnología que necesitan. If I can ask, what's the investment that you received up to this point?
So the total investment is approximately $3.5 million raised at the valuation of 25, except the 200K, which is like the public round, which is not filled. At the moment, we are now 3.2 million raised. So we are very close to close all the deals. As I said, we don't rush things. We want to have a good product behind that actually solves an issue, and then think on the strategy to launch it and so on.
Of course. So, lo que estaba diciendo es que hasta ahora ya tienen más de 3 millones de inversión y todavía falta toda la ronda pública. Así que, pero que eso, son bastante selectivos. Okay, that's great. Marketing wise, what's your strategy to continue?
So in regards to marketing, I think I will pass the mic to Alex because he
Perfect.
was more close in that part.
Yes, thank you. So there are multiple stages in the go-to-market strategy. The first one, of course, is to raise awareness. So right now we are partnering with influencers. We are partnering with different, let's say, projects that are very visible in order to, let's say, increase the awareness. This also includes participating into hackathons or developer communities because they are like the most important players in our which solutions to integrate. So the first stage is awareness. Then the second stage of the go-to-market strategy is to, let's say, increase our product differentiation, which is privacy. So this means leveraging more influencers that have the same values as us, integrate with, let's say, tier 1 projects, such as, I don't know, Starkware, or really big projects that know that privacy is important. And the third stage is actually mastering performance. So improve the product a lot in order to achieve the best performance and price quality. So these are the 3 stages that we have in the mind at this moment.
Understood. So really with the privacy focus for communications, which makes total sense.
Yeah.
O sea, las campañas que van a hacer, lo que estaba diciendo, lo más importante para ellos es que se entienda que realmente van a dar valor a nivel de seguridad, porque protegen todos los movimientos. Y van a hacer distintas campañas, pero también teniendo en cuenta la tecnología ante todo, las mejoras. Trabajarán con distintos influencers. Creo que les podemos preguntar también... bueno, creo que les vamos a acompañar bastante en la comunidad hispana.
Sí, les iremos echando una mano a nivel de dándoles propuestas para ayudarles con el marketing aquí en España y en Latinoamérica.
Yeah. We were just saying that, of course, we will help you with Hispanic community marketing in Spain and Latam through this path.
It's very helpful, and yeah, we already start to see, because if you don't have, let's say, connection and partners, and like how we say it in crypto, friends in every community. So it's very important to have the knowledge about how is the community right there, what is the culture, and so on. So it's very important, very useful to use that, and to make sure that you understand the people in each community, try to make a bond with them, and so on. So I think it's very useful in that regard. And we appreciate it.
We're glad. So, being it such an interesting project on the privacy and technology aspect, what would you say that are the challenges and learnings that you are getting on this adventure?
So I think one of the most challenging part that we encountered so far, it's not on the technical side, but because most of the people are not very into the privacy thing. More businesses are in the privacy thing, so it's a challenge how to express that out in the space, so people can understand what's the meaning of blockchain privacy, what's the issue behind it, and so on. So I think that's a challenge, and you need to explain your project, to educate your community about what problem are you solving, and so on. So this is not a challenge, but a nice thing to do, and you have to put an amount of work that is reasonable, so people understand what you're actually doing. And in terms of like technical challenges and so on, if you want to build something that will hold for lots of users and be scalable, and actually to have zero issues or close to zero issues, or at least found them before you launch it, I think this approach, like using only battle tested code and only software solutions that are like approved, audited, so you don't have issues in the long term. So it's a bit hard to find, if you are like want to innovate something, you have to have something new, but in the same time want to rely on battle tested code. So this is a bit of challenge here, but I think we are handling very well.
Yes, and yeah, I'm sure you are. Also, even if it's not perfect today, it's never perfect today, I would say. So the important thing is that people see the value that you already, the problems that you spotted, and the value that you are willing to bring. O sea que
sí, prácticamente es importante el valor que aporta para que al fin y al cabo el proyecto vaya hacia adelante. Si es un proyecto que no aporta valor, por muy buen marketing que se le vaya a dar o lo que hagan, no va a llegar a nada a largo plazo, ¿no?
Y están muy enfocados en mejorar su tecnología. Sí. De hecho, me sorprende que tengan ya un producto, el mínimo producto viable para probarlo, porque están continuamente intentando esté perfecto, que sea la mejor tecnología, pero bueno, que demuestra que es un proyecto que va a largo plazo. Así que...
Me podemos preguntar por partners en otras redes.
Uh-huh.
Que ahora se me acaba de ocurrir.
We were wondering if you do have already other partners in other networks that are interesting to mention.
Yeah, so right now we partnered, like, I think it was announced a few weeks ago, maybe a month or so, a partnership with Block Wallet. They solved this issue with on-chain privacy, and we coupled together as a project to offer end-to-end privacy. So now Block Wallet just launched a few days ago their public version of the application, and they are using OMNIA behind it, so they offer both on-chain and off-chain in order to achieve this end-to-end privacy approach to users in their wallets.
Interesting.
And other partners that we already engaged, we are accepted in the Scaleway program, which is a challenger in the cloud provider here in Europe. We are part of that. We are using their infrastructure to bootstrap our resources so people can make requests and on a high scale. And in the same time, we had a discussion with NIM, which is a provider for the mixed nets. They are developing this cutting-edge technology for achieving off-chain privacy, and we plan to bootstrap that technology in order to have short time to market. We also had discussions with Algorand, with Starkware, and Aztec also, which are building like on-chain privacy solutions. So we are starting to grasp a lot of traction lately. We're already talking to partners, like the nodes that are mining, to integrate them in our resource pool so we can increase our code base of the nodes.
Uh-huh. Ok, o sea que lo que ha mencionado al principio es que están ya tienen como partner a Block Wallet para la parte de on-chain y ellos hacen off-chain y así consiguen tener tener esta privacidad end-to-end de principio a fin, y están también en conversación con distintos partners como Algo y Liquidity Push, bueno, que van a ir anunciándolo poco a poco. ¿Teníamos alguna pregunta?
Sí, pones por algunos casos de uso de la red.
We had a question that maybe you can answer with a quick example on a use case of your privacy network for a user.
Yes, I can. Yeah, sure. I will take the mic. So basically, this is a very good question, and it actually matches one of our latest integration. So what we did, we integrated with Flashbots, which is a private mempool solution. Now, in a non-technical language, what this means is that enables front-running protection for users. So if you are a user who makes DeFi transaction, let's say use Uniswap or PancakeSwap, there is this option slippage. So basically, it's a percent that you allow the price to fluctuate, either in your advantage or in your disadvantage. So without front-running protection, what is actually happening, there are bots out there that are exploiting that slippage and actually stealing some of your money because you allow some percentage of, let's say, fluctuation. But when you do it with front-running protection, actually your transaction is broadcasted into a private mempool, which is not broadcasted to anyone. Bots cannot see it, and when it's mined, the bots can't do anything up to that point because it's already there forever. They can no longer exploit that slippage. So this, I think, it's a really important use case where privacy really matters in the DeFi ecosystem.
Mm-hmm. That was sorry, that was very clear. I go for Spanish. Bueno, lo que estaba diciendo es que si utilizas, por ejemplo, Uniswap y estás haciendo cualquier transferencia o movimiento, tienes un porcentaje que se pierde, que es lo que llaman slippage.
Sí,
y que realmente, como todas las transacciones son visibles, pues están los bots preparados para llevarse parte de ese porcentaje.
De hecho, eso pasa mucho cuando se va a lanzar un proyecto dentro del mercado DeFi. Hay, de hecho, una especie de bots que se llaman sniper bots, y antes de que una persona normal pueda comprarlo, pues que tarde un segundo, dos, si está preparado, ya está el bot automáticamente para que nada más que se liste una moneda se compre. Entonces ya por eso salen esos pump iniciales donde tú ya compras arriba, no compras realmente abajo al precio que se lanza.
Y realmente lo que dicen es que gracias a este el front channel protection, tu movimiento está oculto hasta el momento del minado o de la firma del...
Conecta con el nexo, sí.
Y entonces, una vez que ya llega a este punto, ya no pueden hacer nada. Entonces, evitas este porcentaje de pérdida.
Interesante eso.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, I can add, so I can recommend here something. So there is, let's say, an article written by a research partner from Paradigm VC. They are really big. They are really notorious in the crypto space. They talk about the dark forest in Ethereum. And what this means is actually when you are visible, you are already dead, because this is the way how blockchain works, because it's public. So they really explain in detail how this privacy issue is being exploited right now, at least in the Ethereum ecosystem.
Sí, o sea, que está diciendo que hay artículos que se han hecho sobre esto y lo llaman el dark forest, como la oscuridad del bosque o tal, porque si te ven, pues ya...
Sí, se en el movimiento y saben.
Estás muerto, han dicho. Entonces,
preguntan cómo ven su proyecto entre 3 a 5 años.
We have a question here on how you see the project in 3 to 5 years.
So if I had like to look over like in the medium term, let's say 3 years, I would picture OMNIA by serving like more than 50% of the access to blockchain, because we want to give this decentralized approach of the blockchain, especially if you look on the last year and the previous year, there was a lot of issues with the exchanges and decentralized application going down. So I think that's not normal, and we want to step up and to lead the game and to offer like over 50% of access to blockchain through our solution. And in the long term, like 5 years and so on, maybe after 5 years, we want to be like the statement in let's say in a stone with the privacy, meaning that we want to offer not only off-chain privacy, but privacy in the whole means. If we're talking about off-chain privacy, partnership with on-chain privacy solution, even runtime privacy with homomorphic encryption and even secure multi-party computation, which are now cutting-edge technologies, just used on a demo environment to see how it works. And we imagine that we cover all the spaces of the privacy that's out there in the blockchain, because there's a lot of issues around the privacy that can be solved, and we think we have the knowledge and the vision how to solve that and blend it together all in OMNIA.
Makes sense. Just to clarify, because we were mentioning it before in Spanish and we didn't translate. But in what networks does OMNIA work now? It's Ethereum.
So OMNIA right now allows anyone with Ethereum, Binance, Smart Chain, and Bitcoin to join
right?
with their nodes. Yeah, Bitcoin, Binance, and Ethereum. And right now we are working to onboard even more networks. We look at Polygon, Avalanche, Algorand. Those are the networks, the chain that we see a demand from our users and from the communities, and we plan to adopt them. Actually, I think by the end of this month we'll have some networks already coupled on top of that we already have.
¿Se entiende o...?
Sí, yo creo que sí lo hemos entendido, ¿no? En plan que van a incorporar más nodos a partir de ahora y para darle más usabilidad. Están preguntando aquí una que me parece muy interesante, es ¿qué usabilidad va a tener su token en todo esto? Porque claro, están hablando de blockchain, tal, no sé qué, pero el token para qué
Pues
vale.
tienes razón. Vale. De cara a la respuesta de los 3 a 5 años, es un poco lo que han dicho, que quieren estar presentes en el 50% del ecosistema blockchain, que ha habido muchas caídas en las dApps y que ellos van a tener la tecnología para que esto no pase, y a largo plazo quieren ser una solución de privacidad no solamente off-chain, sino también on-chain, o sea que eso responde a eso. We had another question on how does the token, what's the place of your token here? What's the usability, do we say that in English?
Sí.
Of the token?
I understand the question. I think it's very important because when you have a token, it's very important to have a utility of the token. is no point to have a token after all. So in our case, there are lots of like features behind the token, but I think the most important one is the staking mechanism that it's necessary for the nodes to join. We want to make sure that the nodes that are joining and actually serve the request are performant in the way that they own describe or self. Like when I want to join, I self-describe myself, I have this performance and I have to commit that specific performance. And in the same way, we need to make sure that the data that it's read and written to the chain is correct. So in that regard, a stake is needed with the tokens, with OMNIA tokens, in order to join. So it's that if you are acting maliciously, your stake will be slashed and every attack will be economically infeasible because you lose more than you win when you do this kind of attack. So that's the major utility. And also, like when you pay in OMNIA tokens, you'll have some discounts on the payment. If you are a holder of a specific amount, we have some exclusive features that are available to you. Those are the, let's say, the utility of the token, and also very important, the deflationary effect, because we are burning a third of the fees that are paid for the subscription. So we give this deflationary effect over the token.
Mm-hmm. Understood. We go for Spanish. Que no sé si... Bueno, ha dicho bastantes cosas que de cara a los nodos tienen que hacer staking para operar.
Sí.
Para operar, y además gracias a esto controlan que se comporten bien, la persona, o sea, van a comprometerse a tener una cierta performance, y si no la tienen, pues son castigados a través del staking del token OMNIA, y luego tendrán también descuentos, y es deflacionaria. Han mencionado que un tercio de los fees serán quemados. No sé.
Ya, ¿no?
No sé si hay algún comentario al respecto, si está claro.
No hay ninguna pregunta más. En caso de usar la red, yo creo que ya está, tendría todo, ¿no?
Uh-huh.
Estaban puesto ahí la información de contacto y ya está, ¿no?
Uh-huh.
Pues yo creo que con eso ya...
Pues vamos a ello. Okay, so the audience is happy with this answer. So this was very, very informative. We also wanted, of course, to have your contact information for everyone.
So everybody can reach us in like the channels that they feel comfortable. We have the Twitter, which is OMNIA_protocol, or the website, which is omniatech.io, and we have all the links right there, even the application. So I think the main point of contact will be the website, which is omniatech.io, and we have all the links right there. Everybody can reach us in the Telegram community, in Twitter, in Instagram, in whatever social platform that they feel comfortable in.
Uh-huh. O sea que nos invitan a ir a su página web,
a sus redes, sí, eso sí.
omniatech.io, y desde ahí ya llegamos a todas las páginas. Okay, great. So it was great having you. Thank you very much. We're excited for this launch. And yeah, and
we are also, I appreciate and I really enjoyed both the questions and the discussion, but in the same time I want to thank you for the Spanish lessons decided in May. So I'm very, very
of course
happy about that.
we don't have intuition as you do, but we are thinking we have to translate now. So
Sí,
estamos, porque ellos que tienen, como son gemelos y dicen que trabajan, que se entienden antes de hablar y tal, digo, estamos nosotros igual traduciendo la conexión inglés-español. Okay, so thank you very much. I think we're good.
Me preguntan, ¿habrá algún apartado para stake? El tema del staking de OMNIA.
Sí.
¿Y cuántos OMNIA va a haber que tener para hacer un nodo?
Okay.
Last question.
Very last question, I think. How many OMNIA tokens are required for operating with a node?
So right now we're still computing the specific amount, and it's not yet something that it's computed, so I don't have an answer directly in that regard. But what I can say is that the amount would not be very high, because if we put a high threshold, there will be a few nodes that will be joining, and our vision is like to offer this decentralization, and
Of
it's not
course.
not supposed to be like that. But if it's too low, then the slash will be very low, so the attacks will be incoming. So we are still thinking on that, making computation, but I think in the, let's say, in the second quarter of this year, we'll have the specific amount that's needed to join the node.
Great. Básicamente es eso, están diciendo
Sí, que
que
aún no está terminado, ¿no?
no está determinado, pero que no lo van a poner
no es
muy
muy
alto,
alto.
porque claro, su idea es que haya precisamente muchos nodos, entonces
Sí, centralizar.
para que no sea prohibitivo. Y tendrán esta información más adelante.
Y ya estaría, ¿no? Ahora sí.
I think we're good now.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you very much. If
Thank you as
anything, we have your contact information and looking forward for all to come.
Thank you as well. I really
Thank
enjoyed
you.
it.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye
Same
bye.
for you.
Bye-bye.
Adiós.
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 Adios.
¿Qué?
Pues bueno, chicos, ese ha sido el AMA con Omnia. Ya habéis visto las capacidades que tiene Laura.
¿De qué?
Y-
No, pero ha estado muy bien,
Ha estado
¿no?
bien, ha estado bien. Yo creo que se han enterado todos y han podido hacer las preguntas que han querido, así que ha estado guay. Y pues nada, ya el próximo va a ser, no sé si te lo ha dicho ya Andrés, Fight 3,
Sí,
que va a ser el 11 de marzo,
sí.
que tenemos que hacer el cartel y anunciarlo. Y los próximos probablemente también tengamos, bueno, eso estaremos los dos, pero con Gamium,
Mm,
que son españoles. Live Games también cerraremos uno.
mm.
Y creo que, bueno, de momento son los que tenemos así apalabrados. Y ya vendrán más.
Perfecto, pues nada.
Felicitaciones por tu inglés, te dicen.
Como solo sea por eso. No, pero ha estado muy bien, la verdad.
Sí, está muy entretenido. Y
Con
muy
los,
majos.
con los gemelos.
Sí, sí, muy curioso también eso. Como yo estuve mirando cuando estuve analizando su LinkedIn, habían hecho todo lo mismo. En plan,
Claro.
habían estudiado el mismo instituto, la misma carrera, solo se
Ha dicho
diferenciaban en
80%, pero,
Sí, sí, sí.
pero dice que trabajaba,
Son
que
clones.
trabajando juntos, trabajando
Sí,
en lo
sí.
mismo, que al final dicen que los gemelos tienen
Pues
tu
fíjate.
intuición
sí.
de gemelos, y estos son un ejemplo. En
Así
fin,
que, nada. Dicen que vaya fichaje eres, que bienvenida. Y que pues eso es todo, chicos. Me alegro que os haya
un
gustado.
placer.
Y nos vemos en